Well, we're gonna get to this because this is big news. Big news. Sinners is the #1 movie. That's not what I wanted to show the graphics. Sorry about that. It does look good, but Sinners did it again, John. And you talk about a drop off. I don't remember the last movie that had a 6%. Sweet, get out of here with this freaking thing.
What's going on? You okay?
I don't want this. I don't want that. It's not what I want. I'm trying to get the right one. That is the wrong one. Here it is. This is the one I want. Thank you. Thank you very little. Okay, so here we go. Now, perfect. Listen, I just had to rush back from the city. Haven't eaten shit.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's not the best. So anyway, Sinners still is the I'm not doing the rhyme. I'm not doing it. I'm just saying Sinners won this weekend at the box office. I refuse. I refuse to do the rhyme. The estimates for the second weekend of Sinners is in. It keeps on rising. The vampire musical themed original title wowed in its second weekend with a massive $45 million domestically, down just 6% from its $48 million debut last weekend, and a superb hold, especially for an R-rated horror feature. That brings the $90 million budgeted film North America total up to $125 million. The film also welcomed news internationally after a poor start last weekend in 70 markets. The overseas audience is liking what they see. I don't know what that person was talking about. Someone said that it's doing poorly internationally. That is incorrect.
They probably just read something from last week and just keep regurgitating it.
Maybe. As a result, it closed out its second weekend with a total of $39.1 million overseas. Pretty damn good. The overall domestic box office for the weekend has Hollywood very happy. The combined $146 million total of films is not just the best result for the final weekend of April since the end of COVID, but the first in years where 4 titles scored more than $20 million each. That is good news. The re-release of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, came in second with $25.2 million over the debut of The Accountant 2 with $24.4 million, in third with just $300,000 short of the 2016 original. The fourth weekend of Craft movie continues to power forward with $8 million offshore to bring its total to $816.6 million after just 4 weekends, while The Accountant 2 launched to $13.7 million overseas. So, John, you see those numbers there, and obviously, what stands out outside of Sinners first? What stands out in that box office?
Really, I didn't think The Accountant 2 would be, I thought there was one of those sequels that might just come in and do only 8 to 12. And the fact that it did like 25 or 24, I think that's a good sign. I think people really liked that movie and wanted to see what the sequel's all about. It's gotten good reviews for the most part. So I'm happy for The Accountant 2. Yeah, I've heard, people I like, whose opinions I like, said they liked it. I think I'm going to see it this afternoon before I go see Thunderbolts.
Okay.
There's a screening right after we're done, but we'll see. Well, I might wait till tomorrow, but I want to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So I'm happy to see that happening for that.
I dug it, and I liked Gavin O'Connor before last week. I like him even more now. He came in and Matt interviewed him on his show.
Nice.
And they had a great conversation. He's a very real dude.
Yeah.
Like a real Long Island guy. I didn't realize that. He's a real dude. Told a great story about how he pissed off De Niro. He said on the show, he was talking to him. He was on the phone. We were talking about how, I guess, De Niro wanted to do a Vince Lombardi movie, and he was like, the script wasn't there. So they had a couple conversations, and then he wasn't in. De Niro went off to shoot a bunch of movies, and Gavin was like, I can't wait. So he didn't. By the time De Niro came back, he's like, I can't do it. And De Niro apparently blew up on him on the phone, and this is already told on the air, so I can tell it. And blew up on him. And he said, it got so bad at one point, I stopped and I said, Bob, you're getting little Goodfellas on me right now. That's great. He said he was pissed off at him, and finally years later they made up. But it's a great story. It's a great story. That's all on Matt's channel, by the way. So I'm glad that it did well, because he was very passionate about that movie. You could tell he understands what he was making. He doesn't make movies that he doesn't really believe in. So I'm glad that movie did well. Revenge of the Sith is a good sign for it, because I think that means that that other generations too are going to see the movie again, that maybe they saw when they were kids and they never had a chance to see it in the theater. so now they get a chance to see it. Yeah, what did you think about that? Yeah, go ahead. All right, let's talk about Stitch Fix. I know shopping's hard. I know it is. I found a much better way to do it, though. Stitch Fix, online personal styling, and makes it so easy. I'm not a shopping person. Doesn't matter. Even if I can figure out my size, stores never seem to really have what I need in stock. Then I'm not a crowds person. I'm not a lines person. I don't have the time for it. Stitch Fix, it gets you a stylist who understands your style, understands the size, gets the budget. They do all the shopping for you. So I just give my stylist the one that I have right now. I give them the size, I give them the style, I give the budget preferences. I order boxes when I want, how I want, no subscription required. And he just sends me for pieces, pluses, outfit recommendations, styling tips. It's awesome. I keep what works and then I send back the rest. It's very easy. There's no stores, there's no crowds, there's no stress. Just personalized looks that you're going to love. Stitch Fix makes it all so easy. And it looks like you know what you're doing, too. If you're walking around, you go, hey, look at you. You're in style. I said, I know, right? And then I give Stitch Fix some props. Anyway, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/KHS. One more time, stitchfix.com/KHS.
My take on Revenge of the... I want to give you my take on Revenge.
Please.
This is, and people can come after me if they want, but I saw someone post something, and they said, like, God, it says volumes that a re-release of a Disney movie is the Star Wars movie from whatever years ago is the best thing they've done in years. Best thing Star Wars has produced in years. And look at the attention it still gets. And whatever your feelings are about Disney buying Star Wars, and I get it, there's a lot of things to be upset about, and I respect people who are upset about some of it or most of it. I certainly can point out some things I didn't like for the reason, but they have kept the brand alive. They have given a place for people to go to discover these films again. They have elevated the brand in that way. There's access to it now on streaming in ways that we didn't have before. There's one place you can go, get that Disney Plus. You can watch all the Star Wars crap you want. And so to me, this is them undercutting the fact that whatever your feelings are about the end product, they've done a really great job of keeping Star Wars in the mainstream conversation of the world and expanding its reach, so that a re-release of Revenge of the Sith can generate this kind of buzz and excitement, because the prequel fans who love them, I am not a fan of the prequels, but I know a lot of them grew up, they feel validated and seen and loved by the Star Wars community and the Star Wars universe and Disney. So they want to go and enjoy this film even more so, I think. So I think in a roundabout way, you have to give a little bit of credit to Disney and Kathleen Kennedy and others who have kept Star Wars very much in the pop culture zeitgeist. Yes, we were always talking about it, but there wasn't new stuff coming. And so the fact that they were able to create all this stuff, regardless of the end results, we are always talking about Star Wars. And so I think that's another reason why this film did so well this weekend.
I won't say that. Well,
if you like.
No, I'm not going to call you that, but I'll tell you that I disagree with you.
Okay.
It's Star Wars. So whoever bought it, if they would have put the resources into it, could kept it alive. If Amazon would have bought it, they would have kept it alive. If Amazon
would have gotten the credit, though.
It depends on who made it. It depends on who's doing it. Like, I think we've agreed on the fact that we've looked at this like this is a sports team, and the management has handled the franchise like poorly as far as how they've put things in together. And like, I think they've actually hurt the Star Wars brand more than they've helped it. And I don't think it's just Disney. I think it's Lucasfilm, and the people that are in charge of Lucasfilm are more to blame for the creative side of it. But Disney, as their bosses, could have asked for other things. I just look at stuff the way that Apple produces and the way that they produce things, and I just feel that they have a better handle on these things. And you look at like Andor to me. Andor to me is, as I've mentioned now until I'm blue in the face, is not how I want every single Star Wars project to be, because I don't think that the brand is that serious all of the time, but I think it shows that it can be. I think it shows that it can be adult. I think it shows that you can have an HBO Max quality type show with that type of writing and good acting, and you could still do that and have the fantastical stuff attached to it. But I don't think they did a good job handling it all. And I still think that even if, again, Apple had the brand and let's say that let's say they actually had a movie 3 years ago, as opposed to 2019, and that movie 3 or 2 years ago made $1 billion, and then they released Revenge of the Sith, maybe it would have done $50 million. You know what I mean? Maybe it would have gotten more popular because the brand is in such, it's used to be the number one, as where like baseball in the 50s was the number one pastime. Football is the number one pastime now.
Yeah.
But Marvel jumped over Star Wars years ago, and DC, who hasn't even put a damn movie out yet, a new one, in DCU rather, is more anticipated than Star Wars stuff. So I feel like Star Wars and Disney and Lucasfilm have handled Star Wars terribly.
Okay. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. As you said, we've discussed that before and been on the same page about the overall results, right? The overall report card on it. But my point is that, like, they put it on a network. Like, let me go old man for a second. Like, watching classics on TCM made me want to go see them in the theater. The first time I saw them was on TCM, the channel TCM, but knowing that there were houses or theaters in LA where I could go see old movies because I'd seen them, I want to see them on the big screen. I think there are a lot of younger generations who are discovering the prequel trilogy from Disney Plus, and they don't care about what's the end result and end product and did anybody like it. They're not caught in those bubbles. 9 and 10-year-olds on 8-year-olds are on Twitter going, let's get angry about shit. They're like, what can entertain me? What can get me excited? And where can I go? Well, look, Dad doesn't have to go to the video store and buy us all the prequel trilogies. No, he pays $10 a month on Disney Plus, and I can watch it as many times as I want. So I do think in that way they deserve credit in creating a space where people can go.
But could Netflix have put that on? I mean, they're not, you would never gotten the theatrical release with them, but couldn't anybody who bought it put it on streaming?
But
so
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Even if they did, I would give them credit. If Amazon bought it and put it up, I would give Amazon credit. If Netflix did, I would give Netflix credit. So I just want to say, like, in a vacuum, I think that's fair to give them credit for it. But of course, you have to factor in all the other stuff, which you are correct in saying that they, overall, the brand's been damaged.
Right. I mean, look, by buying it, they kept it alive. We can agree on that.
Exactly.
By buying it in
Disney treatment.
At least at least someone bought it. I just don't feel like it was like, the Acme movie that couldn't find a buyer and then Ketchup, whatever, bought it. You're like, well, then you can go, hey, you might not like what they did, but they're the only ones that kept it alive. Like, if it wasn't for them, you would never see this movie. That I get.
Yeah. But the other side of it too is, like, Apple didn't have an animation division ready to go. Amazon wouldn't have had a animation division ready to go. The fact that they were able to attack it on multiple fronts, including books and comic books and all this stuff, Apple, the Amazon Prime, all these others, Netflix, they would not have been able to do what Disney did. And so I think that's the way they kept the brand in the pop culture zeitgeist.
But that's Lucasfilm. That's not Disney.
Well, Disney with Lucasfilm,
but they already had publishing. They had
Random House put that in,
But Random House had it. I mean, Random House, they were already making Star Wars books. It came with it. Anybody that picked it up would have gotten the books.
But they removed the other stuff, right, and made it very much canon. They have like Disney said, okay, this is canon. These are the books. This is all canon. This is all. So they are involved. Yes, it was Lucasfilm, but with Disney deciding on the plan going forward. So, and I'm not trying to shill out. Listen, I'm not trying to shill out for Disney. I just wanted to give credit where credit is due.
All right. Well, look, we agree to disagree on that one. But that's either way, they had $25 million that came in to for the support. It's huge. And Sinners, though, the fact that it did what it did, dude, when was the last time you heard it drop like that small? Did they say what it was?
I was looking at the list here on Box Office. There's only been 30 movies in the history of movies that have done better than the 6% drop. And I'm talking about movies that increased and movies that dropped less than 6%. 30 total movies in the release, according to Box Office Mojo, have ever done better than the 6% drop. And that's amazing. 30, and none of them are R-rated freaking horror films. So let's just put that on the table, which makes it all the more amazing. And Ryan Coogler and the crew deserves so much credit for that, man.
And I think they're starting to have, like, there's tons of viral videos going out about the movie also. And I'm telling you, that stuff helps dramatically.
Oh yeah.
Like dramatically, where you have, I think that because of the generation that is watching, like look at something Minecraft, right? Minecraft, which again is, I don't know if it's going to hit 1 billion, but it's going to get damn close.
Right.
The amount of younger people that saw that movie because of all the stuff that they saw, whether it's the popcorn throwing shit and all that other stuff, the things that they saw, chicken jockey and all that, through TikTok and everything else. It's a market. I mean, it's a marketing tool.
Yeah. It's massive.
And so the same thing, like you see stuff that's coming out and they're showing parts of some of the scenes that are happening, and people are going and checking this movie out. And the fact that it dropped that low, I mean, that's you gotta be very happy if you're Ryan Coogler, you'll be very happy if you're Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers having a hell of a year right now. So
all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it was looking bad for Warner Brothers, but Minecraft and Sinners have now kind of
What else
turned.
did they have in the beginning of the year? Did something eat crap in the beginning of the year?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they judging from starting from like Joker 2 on, it hasn't been a good.
Well, that was last year, but yes, but I'm talking about this year in particular. This year in particular, they started like, because last year was they were the brunt of the joke last year with the Joker 2. But this year, I mean, they went Minecraft to Sinners, like boom, boom. Like that's impressive. Real impressive.
Good point. I'm gonna take a look and see what we got.
Take a look. So, what do you guys make of the box office? You think you like what you saw? Did you see Sinners? Did you see any of these other movies that came out? Do you think that there's going to be a big drop off because we got Thunderbolts, which is coming up? Is it this week? Is it this week?
Thunderbolts is this week. Yeah.
This week. So obviously that'll take a chunk out of let's before we jump off of that, because we'll get into the Thunderbolts. Like, because Thunderbolts will take a chunk out of Sinners. Sinners will not have it'll have probably like a 50% drop next week.
Right.
Which is understandable at this point. You get third weekend. But what do you think? Well, we can jump into Thunderbolts as far as what we think it's going to make and all that in just a moment. But let me ask the audience as far as what do you think when it comes to Sinners? Do you think it's going to make more money, less money when Thunderbolts comes out as far as drop percentage? Put your thoughts in there. Did you see Revenge of the Sith? What do you think about the re-releases? What do you think about the conversation John and I had about the fact, Lucasfilm, Disney, did they keep it alive? Yeah. Did you agree more so with the points John was making, which I thought made a lot of valid points, a lot of good points, or did you agree with the fact that I think that they dropped the ball? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.